heavy taxes on pet store purchases to discourage abandonment. This is the Netherlands model.
All right.
And it's because once we impose heavy tax on this purchase, then this because stray dogs will, this strength of stray dogs will be reduced that way. Second is enforcement of strict anti-cruelty laws with heavy penalties, Lordship.
All right.
Third one is most of done, but it's relevant.
that is suggested already.
Mandatory microchipping,
Yes.
registration and breeding regulation, strict penalties for abandonment. I'm on that.
Yes.
And
Then
fourth is a centrally coordinated programs with uniform standards on the lines of Swachh Bharat National Rabies Control Program.
all right.
So, Lordship, because I want to mention this Kingdom of Bhutan, Lordship, nationwide campaign is very
What is
urgent
the population?
because they within
What is
a
the population of that country? Do you know?
yes, Lordship,
All right.
but they have completed within a span of 1 year.
Very good.
So, my request.
Thank you.
Grateful, Lordship.
The submission may appear as a victim, my lord, because I have filed one IA. IA number is 2849.
First, tell us your name,
Harsh Jaidka.
Mr.
Harsh Jaidka. Jaidka.
J.I.
DKA.
D.K. Jedka.
D for Delhi. KA. And IA number is 284980 of 2025. First of all, your lordship, my concern is a bit different.
You are appearing in person.
Appearing in person.
All right.
Because as a victim, my concern is a bit different. Certainly, there are dog bites issues, dog chasing vehicular, that is an issue. But my concern is because the vicinity where I am living, there are so much of stray dogs that for the whole of the night they keep on chasing each other, and due to which after every hour or so, there is complete disturbance in the entire area. Due to which even I have placed on record my medical certificate that I have started feeling sleep disorder. My kids can't study. We can't venture out into the night outside. So there is completely chaos over there. So much so I complained to the authorities. But authorities did not initiate any action. They said that our hands are tied. We can just either do vaccination or sterilization. So they did just vaccination of 1 or 2 dogs and that's all. Even I wrote to National Human Rights Commission also, but they have also not taken any action. So my humble submission under this scenario, because data etc., I am not entering into that. I am just coming into this problem. And the solution to this problem is, Your Honor, certainly when there is a nuisance, we can't say that ABC rule says that you can't rehabilitate the dog or you can't capture and take away the dog. ABC rules work in specific framework that if you are taking it for sterilization or vaccination, then you have to release back to the same spot, but not otherwise. So that specific law that does not overrule the general law which is there under 152 of BNSS, which specifically says that whenever there is a nuisance, the local SDN or the local authorities, they can take action to removal of the nuisance. And in this regard, Your Honor, in fact, there is one judgment also which says that even if a specific act has been passed, if the general law has not been repealed as such, so the general law will work in its own field. So at this stage, where we are facing different sorts of problems, whenever there is a complaint of any nuisance, whether it's a dog bite, like this type of dog barking or any other, there the authorities can initiate action, and there is a one judgment. That's all I just want to place on.
Thank you. Really.
But I am appearing in IA number 277563 of 25 and another
Prashant Bhushan.
yes 277563 of 25 and another IA for modification which is
277.
563, that's an intervention, and then an IA for modification 9252 of 26.
May I address after Mr. Prashant Bhushan?
Yes, yes.
May I address after Prashant?
So, Lord, I know that your Lordship has been taken through a lot over the last several hearings.
Nobody has argued on these applications, right?
No,
These
nobody.
IAs have not been
No, they have
addressed.
not been.
Oh,
They have
yes.
Lord, we are dealing with a problem of bites by stray dogs or nuisance created by stray dogs and how to address that. Now, universally, my lord, it has been recognized that if you have an effective system of sterilization,
That has been argued very,
I-
very repeatedly.
I know, I know.
Petitions, please, sorry.
I know, Lord, I know. The problem is that though the sterilization system has worked in some cities like Lucknow, Jaipur, Goa, where the problem of this bites by stray dogs has come down very substantially or almost disappeared. This system of sterilization has unfortunately almost 80-85% of the testosterone gets eliminated by sterilization of a male dog, and sterilization of a female dog also leads to reduction of aggressiveness, etc. Now, the problem is that there is no effective sterilization being done, or not very effective sterilization being done in a very large number of cities in this country. How to make it effective? So the way to how to make it effective? The way to make it effective is to make it transparent and make people accountable for that. So in my respectful submission, my lord, there should be a effective system where people can report stray dogs who apparently seem to be non-sterilized. That recording should be recorded somewhere. It should be reported on some website or however. That should be recorded. Thereafter, my lord, there should be designated authorities in the some designated authority from the local authority whose responsibility it is to respond to that complaint about an unsterilized stray dog. They must respond, they must come and examine and see. Of course, my lord, these stray dogs who have been sterilized, their ears are supposed to be clipped and some microchip is supposed to be put on them. That is one way of verifying. But if there is ultrasound can be done in case there is any doubt whether the dog is sterilized or not, you can.
Why can't we ask the dog to carry the certificate with himself?
Lord, I want to say one thing, my lord. Your lordship has been making remarks during court hearings, which is perfectly normal. But unfortunately, my lord, some of these remarks get misinterpreted. And some of these remarks, my lord, lead
The council
to.
should be informed what kind of arguments are coming forth.
That's all right, my lord. I don't.
Unrealistic arguments you keep on making, and you feel that
I
you
don't-
continue to hear.
I-
You had hours yet.
Lord, what I am saying is something else.
Yes, please.
Sometimes the remarks of the court lead to unfortunate consequences, particularly when they are misinterpreted. For example, my lord, your lordship apparently sarcastically made the remark that feeders should be made responsible for the dog bites. Perhaps your lordship said it in a sarcastic way.
No, not at all sarcastic. We said it in a very serious note.
All right.
Yes.
Now, my lord, unfortunately, what happens
What we
is-
will do, we don't know. But during a dialogue, we speak
sorry.
our minds at times. We do
Now,
make
Lord,
observations. That doesn't mean that we are.
the result of some of these remarks can be quite serious. Because, my lord, sometimes feeders are being beaten up by other residents, etc., by taking refuge under this court's remarks. That's why I'm saying.
No, there are a lot of observations made during a conversation with the council. That doesn't make any difference. Sorry.
Milords, as a senior member of the bar, may I also, Milords, only say this, especially because now proceedings are being televised. Therefore, Milords, there is a duty both on the bar and on the side of the bench, Milords, to be circumspect in remarks, Milords. I'm saying this as a
Yes, we
senior
are
member.
conscious of that.
So, my lord, so
Mr.
there
Raju,
has,
we have to keep a lot of refrain ourselves from making so many, otherwise observations we would have made.
Lordship.
Only because of this.
Lordship.
Yes.
because it can have consequences. So now, my lord, the system has to be made transparent and accountable, the system of sterilization.
This is
So-
Mr. Bhushan come with something new. All this has been continuing for weeks together now.
This, my lord, your lordship, because what is happening is the reason why the problem is persisting despite these rules having been in place for so long is because there is either corruption or there is incompetence or inefficiency on the part of the authorities in sterilizing these stray dogs. So we need to make the system such that every complaint is recorded somewhere, that the officers are designated for coming and verifying whether this dog is sterilized or not, and thereafter sterilizing that dog. That sterilization should be video recorded, and that video recording should be available just as things are available under RTI. That video recording of the sterilization should be available on people paying some small fees for checking that video recording.
All right.
Only, my lord, then will be, and if there is some default on the part of some officers, they should be held accountable and penalized for this. So this will largely, my lord, ensure that sterilization is being properly done and effectively done. The second problem is with aggressive dogs. Now, if somebody reports a dog bite, then that report should be recorded somewhere. There must be some reporting system that this dog has bitten unprovoked, bitten. Thereafter, my lord, some designated officers of that authority should be responsible for coming and verifying that as to whether this dog had indeed bitten or not bitten, etc. If it is found that that dog had indeed bitten unprovoked, then of course the dog should be sent to a shelter home. And thereafter, my lord, some committee, after reviewing the matter on a monthly or a bi-monthly basis, etc., if they find that the dog has become totally non-aggressive, dog has been sterilized and so on, and he has become non-aggressive, then only, my lord, that dog should be released back. This is my respectful submission.
Very good.
So therefore, this also should be a
You
verifiable
please
system.
prepare your brief note and pass it on to the court. We will consider it.
Yes,
Right.
I'll prepare my note, and Lord, can I hand it over tomorrow?
Tomorrow, day
Acha.
after.
Then lastly, my lord, this is a matter regarding dogs, etc., and what will happen. I know that your lordship has passed that order about at least picking up and putting institutional dogs into shelter homes. Of course, today there is this problem that we don't have shelter homes. Secondly, my lord, there is a lot of literature on the subject that if you put dogs or mass number of dogs in shelter homes, they can become, their behavior can get altered, they can become more aggressive, zoonotic diseases, etc., etc. These are, my lord, matters for experts who understand these issues. That is why I am lastly requesting that your lordship may consider appointment of an expert
That
committee.
has also been addressed by,
That's all right. I just wanted to.
starting from Mr. Venugopal and the council have addressed all.
No, I am sure, my lord, that most of these arguments have been addressed. I just-
Therefore, we'll take care of that.
Yeah, okay. I am
Yes,
okay.
Mr. Raj.
May I please, Millards, I'm handing up a short note.
Yes.
My client, Millards, the applicant, has filed an application for implement 18366.
1 minute. IA number
18366 for
18366
yes, Millards, for implement
of 2026.
of 2026 Millards. Second, 18349 for recall of the order dated 7/11.
Yes.
And third, Millards, application 18373, which is for directions.
All right.
Now, Millards, the credentials of my client are, she has been not only a lifelong animal rights activist, but also a union cabinet minister for many years. So she has experience from both sides and she brings a different perspective. Now, Millards, as far as the application,
Mr. Raju,
Lordship, please.
a little while ago, you were telling the court that we should be circumspect in making observations and all. Did you ever find out from your client what kind of remarks and what kind of statements she has
Yes.
been making?
Lordship, please, Mullards. Now, my
Did you or
client,
did you not?
of course, Mullards, of
Still you
course.
accepted the brief
Of
to argue on
course.
your behalf?
Why not, Mullards?
All right.
If I can appear for Ajmal Kasab, I can appear, Mullards, for a former union minister.
Ajmal Kavazar did not consider, commit any contempt.
Lordship,
Your
please.
client has committed
Mullards, there are,
serious contempt.
Mullards,
We may not take cognizance of that. That is our magnanimity.
Mullards, if it comes,
Have you heard her podcast?
I have not heard her postcard. I've read her article.
For accepting her
I've
plea.
read her article. I
No,
have,
not of the article. You see what she says and how she says, what she talks like, what is her body language.
Mullards, I am representing a cause. I am representing what she
No,
wishes to say before the court.
We
And if
are
it,
telling you this because you made a comment that the court should be
absolutely, Mullards.
circumspect and not making any comments.
I'm sure
On the other hand, your client is making all kinds of comments for
without,
anybody and anyone she likes.
since this is currently not a contempt action,
Yes.
I'm not saying more on that, except to say
Anyway, you
that
complete your submission. Long list waiting.
we lawyers and judges still would be on a different plane. Lawyers and judges will still be on a different plane from politicians when it comes to making public comments. Having said that, Mullards,
Yes.
let me address my lords on the merits of these two applications. One,
Yes.
as far as recall is concerned, I will only state the point because it has been argued. I am stating it only for the point to make it a logical sequence.
Yes.
The point in the recall application is that the order dated 7/11/2025 runs contrary to Rule 1119. That point has been made. I'm not going to argue it again, but this is my first submission. And my application also contains the case law on 142, whether the court can pass a direction contrary to law, etc. All those cases are there. Those will be culled out.
Yes.
What I wish to now place before my lords is this application for directions, because what will really contribute to solving the problem, in my respectful submission, is what is contained, the suggestions contained in this application. And this 3-page note, I'll quickly take my lords through the points made in this note.
Yes.
Yes, lords. This is, lords, National Action Plan on Rabies Eradication.
Yes.
This has been in force, lords. This is a multi-sectoral policy matter to which, lords, the executive has addressed itself and has formulated a comprehensive national policy in 2021, which is called, lords, the National Action Plan for Rabies Eradication, NAPRA. This was developed, lords, through an exhaustive consultation with over 30 stakeholders, including, lords, kindly see the stakeholders involved here: Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Environment, Agriculture, Panchayati Raj, Housing and Urban Affairs, Science and Technology, Niti Aayog, National Human Rights Commission, as well as professional bodies and eminent veterinarians, medical and wildlife experts. This, lords, embodies what is called, lords, the One Health approach, because this involves both human health and animal health. So this takes a holistic view, and this embodies, lords, the global standard, and this has been put out by the Ministry of Health. This is very important. This is a document of the Ministry of Health, which is the paramount body concerned with human health.
Yes.
Now, this One Health approach embodies the global standard for rabies eradication. And then if your lordship come to the third bullet point, this is a dual-pronged architecture of NAPRE. To achieve rabies eradication by 2030, addressing both human health and animal health components. Now, this policy outlines 9 distinct strategies to execute the human health component. We've set this out in our application. I've given the page reference. Availability of anti-rabies vaccine, anti-rabies serum, capacity building of professionals in appropriate animal bite management, encouraging pre-exposure prophylaxis for high-risk groups, strengthening surveillance of animal bites and rabies cases, strengthening diagnostic capacity on rabies, promoting operational research on rabies, strengthening intersectoral coordination between the veterinary and medical sectors for regular sharing of reports, information, education, and communication, public-private partnership through involvement of NGOs and community organizers. Now, Mulus, what is important is para 6. The policy outlines 10 strategies to execute the animal health component. There are, Mulus, 10 different ones, Mulus, where I will only focus on 5. Dog population management through ABC rules. This is part of this rabies control program. Mulus. Now, therefore, implementation of ABC rules is integral to this overall integrated strategy. The policy identifies 9 systemic hurdles to rabies eradication, including
As it is.
I said something. Mulus?
No, no, just trying to make the.
It needs to be a little
More
cooler.
cool.
Mulus. It's a
Yes.
little cooler.
Yes.
Para 7 minutes. The policy astutely identifies 9 systemic hurdles to rabies eradication, including a pervasive lack of understanding regarding the One Health concept among stakeholders, poor and inadequate resource allocation, fragmented activities of animal health components such as dog population management, and mass dog vaccination. A large stray dog population, both in urban, peri-urban, and rural areas, and a lack of administrative and political will. To overcome these challenges, NAPRE, that is policy, clearly delineates the roles and responsibilities of all stakeholders at every level of governance. So, Milord, we have set out who are the key stakeholders. Then, Milord, the supporting stakeholders. And then other stakeholders. NGOs, professional medical and veterinary organizations, international development agencies, and private sector agencies. For the animal health component, the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying serves as a nodal agency at the center, providing technical guidance. Implementation at the state level is carried out by state veterinary departments, veterinary colleges, etc. Para 10. NAPRE mandates that the state government prepare their own state action plans for rabies eradication to facilitate localized implementation. Over 30 states have not done this. The policy also establishes a multi-layered institutional mechanism for monitoring and evaluation through national, state, and district level joint steering committees. Furthermore, it sets forth specific monitoring indicators to indicate that implementation is objectively measurable, providing a ready-made framework for judicial oversight. There is a congruence because the court and the executive are not at cross purposes. That is not the perception, Mills. The objectives of this honorable court and the central government are entirely congruent. The mitigation of dog bite incidents and the total elimination of dog-mediated rabies. The solution lies not in creating new mechanisms like permanent shelters, but in time-bound and effective execution of the existing comprehensive framework provided by the NAPRE and the ABC rules. Therefore, it is submitted that the appropriate scope of judicial oversight should be directed towards monitoring the implementation legislation. There are rules in place, but these are not adequately implemented. If this were to be implemented, and this is itself part of the ABC rules are part of this.
Just a minute.
One illustrative case, minutes of which only one para will be shown to your lordships.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, minutes. Paragraphs 35 and then minutes 75. Just 2 paragraphs I'm showing. This is minutes with regard to the implementation. of a socially beneficial legislation called the National Food Security Act.
Yes.
Para 35. These two questions arise in the context of the seriousness with which the National Food Security Act 2016, a welfare legislation, is and should be implemented. Then para 75. Give me. Para 75 at page 191. I need not take my lords through the judgment at all.
Yes.
In view of our discussion above, it is quite clear that the NFS Act, a social justice and social welfare legislation, is not being implemented as it should be. That is the bane of our society, and therefore, in keeping with our constitutional obligation, we are of the opinion that the following directions need to be issued for the effective implementation of the National Food Security Act 2013. And then this honorable court has given certain directions. I will now conclude only by pointing out the prayers in my application. What are the directions which would be appropriate to be given by this honorable court? Just take out those directions for me. Yes, one sir. In my IA minutes for directions, which is 18373,
Yes.
my prayers minutes are at page 2 of that application. A, direct the National Joint Steering Committee for the National Action Plan for Rabies Elimination, chaired by the Secretary, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, and co-chaired by the Secretary, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, to submit a comprehensive report before this honorable court explaining the reasons for lack of uniform implementation of the NAPRE across the country. B, direct the Government of India and all state and union territories to implement the NAPRE in letter and spirit, and direct the National Joint Steering Committee to submit action taken reports every 8 weeks. C, direct the chief secretaries of all states and union territories to constitute state joint steering committees within 7 days to be chaired by the chief secretary. Then, Millards, direct the chief secretaries of all states, union territories to formulate and publish state action plan. Then E, direct the said state joint steering committee to file comprehensive action taken reports every 8 weeks. And F, direct the immediate formation of district joint steering committees in every district to be chaired by district magistrate and co-chaired by so and so and so and so. I'm grateful for a patient hearing.
Thank you.
May I like pose some questions to you?
Lordship, please.
Since your client is stated to be a very, very renowned animal rights activist,
Lordship, please.
she was also a minister, she has been a parliamentarian.
Yes, ma'am.
Your application, whatever we have seen from your written note,
Yes, ma'am.
is totally silent on the requirement of the budgetary allocation for carrying out these schemes.
Lordship, please.
How much has been, what has been the contribution of your client
Yes,
in
please.
getting these budgetary allocations? Please tell us.
I can't answer this orally. So I can't answer this orally.
My lords,
Grateful.
my lords, may I take 2 minutes, my lords, only 2 minutes.
We have heard you already.
Yes, no, my lords, I am.
Milords, just to complete the answer to Justice Mehta's question, Milords, all that is part of the policy. All that is set out in the policy. If your lordships want the page of the policy, that will be pointed out, page 199. Grateful.
My lords, my lords, I am coming for the first time, my lords.
Yes, Dr. Singhvi.
My lords, I am appearing for 2 matters which are in the Bombay High Court. My lords had asked that all the matters to be transferred here.
Yes.
They have apparently, I am told, instructed, they have not come here, but I am only making my submissions, my lords. Only 2 very small submissions. My
Can you
lords,
give the details of your case?
yes, my lords, these are, my lords, PIL 66 of 2025. My
Before
lords,
Bombay High Court.
Bombay High
Are
Court.
you giving a passing on a note?
My lords, no, my lords, I am only giving 2 small, my lords, submission. And civil writ petition 2572 of 2023. These are 2 matters which are pending in Bombay High Court.
1 minute, 1 minute. One is PIL number
66 of 2025.
66 of 2025,
Another is civil writ petition 2572 of 2023.
CWP
2572
2572.
of 2023. My lords, my lords,
Both
we
are
have
pending before the Bombay High Court.
Bombay High Court because my lords had passed an order. My lords, they are still, I'm instructed to state they have not still come here, my lords. My lords, I have only 2 submissions to make.
Yes.
One is, my lords, let there, my lords. One is there should be a helpline, my lords, in every city. This is one point. Second point is, my lord, the killing of the dogs should be not be there. That is part of our writ petition which is pending there. You may have resort to, but not culling on killing of the dogs.
Oh.
This is second point. And third point is, my
You
lord.
said only 2 points, now you are coming to third
My
point.
third point is procedural aspect, my lords, not on the substantive aspect. My lords, once my lords laid down the entire SOP, my lords, or whatever has to be followed by the municipal authorities, RWA, then let these, my lord, there have been orders of this court when there is one joint writ petition pending before this court. Then what happens is, my lords, every, my lords, matter will come to my lords and IA would be filed. Let the High Court, after my lords have passed a decision, so that my
That
clients
submission
have,
has
my
also
lords,
been advanced by somebody so that it is decentralized and every high court will deal with it.
the courts are in a better position to have the localized one size fits all. Otherwise, my lords will be seized with 10 applications in the pending matter.
Yeah.
Once my lords laid down the SOP for every state or every municipal authority,
Just send it back to the high court.
my lord, and these matters may also be, and we have some other collateral, my lords, reliefs also. My lords, which my lords will not come in exactly in the ambit of this, my lords. Sometimes these RWA versus my lord, regional authorities, my lords, and the my lord, feeders, they may have problem. So these all problems can be taken care of the High Court itself, and not that matter ever comes. These are three, and my lords, killing of the dogs, my lords, which
All
we are
right.
very concerned.
Lords, may I, with my lord's permission, just
One
make,
minute, 1 minute. Yes.
Lords, may I, with my lord's permission, let's beg to appear in writ petition 784.
First tell us your good name.
Lords, I'm Counsel Ajit Sharma.
Ajit,
Ajit Sharma,
AJIT.
AJIT. Please, my lords, I'm grateful.
Dr. Ajit Sharma.
Lords, Counsel Ajit Sharma, I'm sorry.
Acha, I thought
Yes.
Dr. Ajit Sharma.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Petition number?
Well, it's writ petition number civil 784 of 2025.
Writ petition civil number,
Well, it's 784 of 2025.
Transfer from?
Well, this is a fresh 32 writ.
Article 32
Please.
petition here.
Well, my submission is only new aspects. I'm only saying that the responsibility to sterilize, pick up, vaccinate, neuter dogs primarily rests upon municipal corporations. I beg to make a proposition before the court today to say that the responsibility can be shared by other institutions as well in ensuring sterilization and vaccination in view of the provisions of the Environment Protection Act. Now, Your Lordship, I'll just read the provisions, my lord, because Your Lordship, Section 2A defines the environment as including water, air, land, interrelationship with exist among and between water, air, and land, and human beings, comma, other living creatures, plants, microorganism, and property. So therefore, environment in it, as defined in the statute, includes other living beings and the relationship amongst each other. The preamble to the Environment Protection Act says it's an act to provide for protection and improvement of environment and for matters connected therewith. So therefore, as far as living creatures are concerned, the act looks holistically, not from a narrow point of view as to what pollutes the environment and how do we safeguard pollution of the environment, but also looks at it from the point of view of the living beings, plants, microorganisms, everyone forms part of our environment, and the act is being enacted to protect the environment and for matters connected therewith. Now, Section 3(2), my lords, empowers the central government. Section 3(2)(3) particularly is what I'm referring to, empowers the central government to pass and formulate any measures, including measures with respect to laying down standards for quality of environment, for improving quality of environment in its various aspects. Therefore, my submission on a consideration of these three provisions, definition of environment, the rule-making power of the central government to lay down standards to improve the quality of environment in its various aspects, and the preamble of the act, the intention of the legislature, is to say that this provision also can be resorted to invoke certain provisions to impose a responsibility on various project proponents to pick up, sterilize, and vaccinate dogs. Now, the suggestion is this. SEA, my lords, is State Environmental Impact Assessment Authority, are constituted across the country in all the states. They issue several new ECs, environment clearances, and several come up for renewal every day. Now, in these environment clearances, your lordships have seen, my lords, a whole host of conditions are imposed. About 40 to 50 general and specific conditions with respect to that particular project is imposed after taking into account an environmental impact assessment to assess the impact that that particular project will have. In those, my lords, my submission for the court to consider today is that your lordships may consider adding, empowering SEA that, look, environment includes living organisms. You can, for those who are resourceful, defense establishments, universities, big hospitals, big institutions, not for somebody who needs an EC to construct a house or other private uses, but those who are particularly resourceful, they must have an obligation to to invest some of their resources. Your lordships have already heard on use of CSR funds, but I'm resorting to a mandatory binding condition as part of the environment clearance that in your vicinity, because you're resourceful, you must also pick up, sterilize, vaccinate the stray dogs as well. That responsibility will rest on you, and dedicate one officer from your corporation or from your public sector enterprise to undertake this particular task. That's my submission, my lords. I'm also, my lords, just one reference I wanted to show to my lords is this judgment passed by a court, my lords, 2013 8 SCC 234. Now, this judgment was in the context of relocation of tigers and cheetahs into Kuno National Park. But what is relevant while your lordships were considering the aspect of relocation is your lordships considered there are two aspects: anthroposcopic principle and ecocentric principle. Your lordship said anthroposcopic principle is a way of looking at environment from a human-centric approach. What is good for humans and what is not good for humans in that. Ecocentric approach looks at environment holistically, that humans, dogs, cats, birds, everyone is a part of the environment. And therefore, we must try and balance out the interest of all those who are part of environment, because cumulatively put together they form our environment and not just one particular species by themselves. So therefore, my lords, my submission is your lordship may consider that while granting environment clearances, directions can be passed by these, and these will be binding statutory directions by those who have the resources to comply with the directions.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful for the privilege, my lords.
I have filed,
Yes, Mr. Rahul Kaushik.
yes, my lords, we have filed, my lords, written submissions, my lords, in intervention application number
Just 1 minute.
26 of 25, my lords.
One minute.
I'm sorry, I've handed over an,
For submissions, my lords.
I'm handing a short note also for my.
Please.
Great.
My lords, I am representing an organization, my lords, who had actually an MOU with the Bangalore Municipal Corporation, my lords. So they are actually doing this awareness for animal rights, my lords. So just some solutions, my lords. My first is
No, first tell us your IA number.
IA number would be minus 267746 of 25, my lords.
2677.
46 of 25.
Yes, now.
Yes, so we had an MOU with the Bangalore Municipal Corporation also, my lords, with regard to we are creating awareness for animal rights. So, my lords, my first submission is this is what, since the feedback which they have, my lords. RWA, my lords, actually can have a sufficient space, space for vaccine, space, my lords, with regard to feeding, my lords. That's the first submission. And they can actually have a subcommittee called an Animal Welfare Committee in every RWA, my lords, who can actually take care of vaccination, because their feedback is, my lords, actually the reason this dog bite is two folds are the main reason according to them, my lords. The first is, my lords, cruelty with regard to in every gated colony, everywhere this security guards other get aggressive, my lords. Second is relocation. Third is no food. And fourth is with regard to, my lords, if there are some health issues, they're not taken anywhere. If actually in every RW, they can have some sort of an animal welfare committee, those who are actually dog lovers, they can actually take care of vaccination. They can have a proper space and they can take care, my lords, proper feeding time also. That's a submission, my lords. With regard to dog pounds, my lords, the feedback is, my lords, in fact, I got an article also last week in Telangana. There have been 500 stray dogs, my lords, who have been killed. And in Rohtak also, they were taken in dog pounds, around 50 there also. So instead of that, if they can taken care with regard to animal birth control centers, my lords. Thirdly, my lords, it's actually a practical solution with regard to dog bite. If we can have sort of advisory boards everywhere. And the reason for these dog bites are primarily, which I just informed my lords, is with regard to this aggression. And my lords, with regard to relocation, we can have some sort of advisory board. This actually won't take any expense also. This is their feedback. Since they are on the field, they are advising the government also, my lords. Like fire safety measures we can have some sort of advisory boards with regard to dog bites. My lords, the reason is that dog bites, so we can actually how it can be avoided. So these are the 4-5 reasons we have actually filed a proper written submissions also, my lords.
Thank you.
Oh, may I request me?
Yes.
Followed, I am at serial number 301.10. I am NM Kapadia. 301.10, that is a transfer case.
Come from Ahmedabad.
Yes, my lord.
Mr. N.M. Kapadia.
Please.
My lords, I'm sorry, just one last submission. This dog pound is actually leading to this dog meat also, my lords.
All right. Mr.
Grateful.
Kaushik, you heard.
Grateful.
Oh, my transfer case civil number 144 of 25.
IA number? Yours is
Mine is transfer case number.
transfer
civil
case number.
144 of 2025.
144
Yes, my lord.
of 2025.
Please, my lord.
From where it has come?
It has come from Gujarat High Court.
Gujarat High Court.
We had filed petition 2012, my lord. And there were good orders by the High Court, but then they were not strictly implemented, which was observed by the Honorable Court also
Yes.
at the relevant time. My lord, this my notes, only 4 paragraphs are relevant, my lord, because some are already repeated, therefore I will not repeat.
Huh.
Page 5, para 12, my lord.
Like Gujarat hai.
We had also got good judgments from my lord when whatsoever honor was. Chief
Hey, you get good judgments from here also. Huh?
My lord continues to do so here.
Yes. Which paragraph numbers?
Page 5, para 12, my lord.
Para 12, yes.
The dogs are natural scavengers. They are attracted to the garbage and filth. Human beings are in habit of throwing unconsumed food in the general environment. And the stray dogs who are physically scavengers survive on such food, sorry. The local governments like panchayat, municipalities and corporations do not leave the garbage from the garbage bins on time, and therefore the dogs gather at the said place in search of food as they find the ready source of their food in such garbage. Even the revised Animal Birth Control Module published by AWBI in 2025 unequivocally recognized the reason behind stray dog as the availability of more food waste due to changes in society such as urbanization and increased human densities combined with lack of responsible ownership are leading to an apparent increase of free roaming dogs. My lord, my suggestion is a strict and effective garbage management policy must be adopted as is available in developed countries with stipulation of heavy penalty for defaulters. This includes scientific garbage management, segregation and daily disposal of waste, elimination of open dumping, installation of closed garbage bins, regulation of feeding zone. Thereafter, next page, my lord, page 6, para 16, C and D. Because some
Yes.
query was made, what to do regarding these ferocious dogs, my lord. Page 6, para C.
Yes.
Few animal welfare organizations have even trained people how to behave and deal with stray dogs. A successful endeavor to sensitize and training the children of Vadodara, Dehradun and Lucknow involving 6,891 children is done by an organization called Human Society International India Chapter. Similar initiatives should be implemented nationwide. I have annexed the relevant material in compilation. Then very next point D, aggressive dogs may be treated and rehabilitated and then released back in their original territory. A center called Dog Friendly Center in Rajkot has successfully calmed down more than 1,000 aggressive dogs. Similar centers may be made functional at all cities. Well, that also relevant document I have produced at page number 44. And then next page, page 8, para number 22 and 23. Because after hearing my lord, I could get some material as a result of mass removal of dogs in city of Surat, Gujarat. In the year 94, the number of radons had increased to such an extreme extent that it led to a pandemic of plague. Press report in Pune Times Mirror has reported the same. The Times of India has also published a report indicating experts' views that mass removal of dogs would give rise to public health issues, including leptospirosis and plague. Lord, I am from Surat. When there was a plague, one municipal commissioner came, and whoever has thrown anything out of the residence or the shop, he used to be penalized between 5,000 to 10,000. So nobody would be daring say that somebody else has thrown. And then last submission, page 12, my lord.
Hey, you read your 4 paragraphs now.
Page 12, only one list of FIRs I have produced on record where the dogs are beaten, they are killed also by the human beings, their trials are going on. I only say that whoever was victim or who is the accused, he should be punished. But so far as dogs are concerned, if there is no rabid dog, then the other dogs cannot be penalized. That is my humble submission, my lord. Oblige, my lord.
My lord, I'm preparing for IA.
Only 1 minute, my lord, that I have produced on record, not reading, page 10 and 11, my lord.
Yes.
There is a successful ABC program in only one city, that is Rajkot city, that only 0.5 per 5 point something is the area per kilometer. the presence of dog as on today after successful ABC program. So that can be adopted, that is a suggestion to the honorable court, my lord. Obliged.
My lord, may I give my submission on behalf of victim?
My lord, I'm appearing for item IA 216158 of 2025. I'll repeat it again, my lord, 216 of 158.
When we ask you, then you repeat. Wait.
My lords.
First, tell us your good name.
Advocate Siddharth K. Garg.
Now tell us your IA number.
216158 of 2025, my lord.
Yes.
My lord, the first point is regarding, and I will take less than 5 minutes, not a single point repeated. My lord, the first point is regarding your point of National Law School, Bangalore. I have a statement by the Student Animal Law Society. They, in the last 5 years, have conducted extensive CSVR. The population of stray dogs has come down from 40 to 20. In last 5 years, 0 dog bites. Number one. Number two, there's an RTI which I'll file, which shows that in the data from NCDC, National Center for Disease Control, there are, of all the dog bites, there is no distinction between provoked and unprovoked, and no distinction between pet dogs and stray dogs bite. Now, my lord that inflates the number of dog bites, number one attributed to stray dogs. And my lord might think the pet dogs might not bite as much. Regarding that, my lord, the only data which I have found is a study by General Hospital in Ernakulam in 2015, which said we conducted a study for last 1 year. Of all the dog bites we've got, cases we've got, 70% are from pet dogs and only 30% are from stray dogs. I'm agreeing it is only one hospital. I'm agreeing it was only from Kerala. I'm saying you can extrapolate it. And my lord, my last point is regarding corruption. And I have one word for you, my lord, ovaries. This is Umar Ujala Article 2021. A ABC center billing 100 lakhs, but running only on paper. Ovaries. What happens, my lord? I'm not attributing to any one NGO. There's a scam in neutering in the ABC. The A number one ABC is not done. When it is done, it is corrupt. For example, what happens, my lord? They take out the ovaries from the dogs. They keep it in a freezer. The same ovaries are then counted, payment taken. The same ovaries are then sent to another shelter. Again counted, payment taken. The rules mention they should be incinerated or a dye should be put. Doesn't really happen. They keep on going across various centers and the billing keeps on happening. As a result, certain people make money, but the solution is not achieved. My humble suggestion regarding this, my lord, one suggestion which I think I've applied my mind might help, that in the ABC rule, it mentions that the ovaries must be destroyed right after the counting. If for that, my lord, the data can be had, this is the number of ovaries we paid for the sterilization, and this is the number of incinerated ovaries. If it doesn't match with the number of ovaries billed for, then we have a problem. If this data can be put up online, there are people who will do oversight. It shouldn't be such an issue. My lord, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Yes.
My lord, my IA number is 10494 of 2026.
शुभ नाम बताइए
Sir,
पहले।
Shubham Gupta.
Yes. Yes. IA number.
10494 of 2026.
Yes.
Lordship, here the applicant is himself a victim of dog bite, who is a member of who is an advocate and member of the SCBA. So he has dog bitten in his area. Because of the pending of the suo motu by taking the honorable court, there is no responsibility or liability for any person who is taking responsibility or liability to take in the street dog who is biting again and again to the victim or the other persons who is living in that particular area. So only my one submission or my request is that as per the Wildlife Protection Act, there is no protection for the dogs as like buffaloes, goats. They are also using for the human consumption and other activities also. So it is only my request that who is aggressive in nature and doing that particularly activity again and again, they are liability to kill. This is my only submission.
Very well. Thank you.
Lordship, I appear for a Federation of Animal Welfare Associations. May I please pass on this note? It has certain materials which I need to point out. We are a Federation of Animal Welfare Associations. The profiles are given.
What is your good name, Mr. Counsel?
I'm sorry.
What is your good name?
Ashish Verma. Ashish M. Verma. There are 2 writ petitions.
Case numbers.
9820 of 2024 before the Honorable Bombay High Court. And civil writ petition 18155 of 24 before Honorable Karnataka High Court. 24, Your Lordships.
Both 24.
Yes, the first page, the title of the note has the case numbers, if Your Lordship may kindly have.
Where is your note?
So we as a federation had filed these two petitions, one before the Honorable Karnataka and one before the Honorable Bombay High Court. It was an admitted petition pending for final hearing, but Your Lordships got the matters transferred, so they have not reached till now. I'm just giving a brief what our grievances were. We as the animal welfare organizations, we apply for tenders before the various municipal corporations. We get them, and then there is a constant interference by the body called as Animal Welfare Board of India. Your Lordships, my learned seniors have already argued that it. Lordship, my learned seniors have already argued that the AWBI is a body created by the statute, the Parent Act. Section 9 of the Act says that it has only supervisory role in the welfare of the animals. Now, by the 2023 rules, the entire control of this animal welfare birth control operations is taken by the AWBI. Now, Your Lordships, effectively speaking, this AWBI does not have any employees outside Haryana. Random animal activists who are not having any recognition, they report to the AWBI and they directly shoot stop work orders. Your Lordship may kindly have. I have annexed one to the BMC and then Your Lordship to the Bangalore Municipal Corporation, the Ambernath Municipal Council and again the BMC and Kalyan Dombivali Municipal Corporations. This they have done in entire India. What they do? They have twofold grievances. Firstly, we have received a complaint from XYZ person. This person is who, what he has to do, we know nothing. And secondly, you are not recognized, so you cannot carry out this work. Now, Your Lordship may kindly have the last page of this note.
Yes.
In this entire India, I'm sorry.
Annexure P3.
Yes, Your Lordship. Now, this 14 organizations have the project recognition. All others are illegal. They are not recognized. We as organizations apply for the recognition, they sit over the applications. They are not even accepted. So as a result, our entire project becomes illegal, and the day someone raises a complaint who is not known, who person it is, our work will be stopped. So because of this, in entire India, as on today, I have the data, only 66 organizations, only 66 centers are recognized. All other are operating illegal because of the rules. The rules require recognition. Recognition is not given. So if Your Lordships will hear these petitions, I can satisfy as to how the AWBI, there has been constant interference and it is all politically driven. Some politician directs that this person should get the tender, this person should get the recognition, only he gets, and the others who have conducted lakhs of surgeries all these years, they are sitting idle. I am obliged, Your Lordships.
Yes.
My writ petition diary number is 3638 of 2026.
What's your good name, sir?
Jasdeep Dhillon. Jasdeep Dhillon.
Jasdeep.
Yes, sir.
JSDEEP.
DHILLON. I'm just handing over a list of dates, Lords.
Writ petition number.
Lords, diary number is 3638 of 2026, not numbered yet, Lord.
Diary number
3638 of 2026.
This is Article 32 petition.
32 petition, my lords. What I am seeking is twofold, my lords. One is that this concerns the victim, my lords, Chavi Sharma, 6-year-old. On
You
the
are
wisdom.
supposed to take the name.
Sorry, my lords, my apologies, my lords. My lords, on so my lords, twofold prayers I have, my lords. First is that action be taken. It's some sort of inquiry ought to have taken place, but till date, my lords, incident is of June, my lords. No inquiry of who are the municipal officials responsible for the stray dogs over there, my lords. Second is, my lords, in respect to the my lords, negligence at the hospital level also, my lords. About 5 different hospitals I was referred to, my lords. Some places treatment refused, my lords. Some places admission refused. So, my lords, I had my list of dates, my lords. First page, my lords.
Yeah.
30th of June 2025, my lords. Milord, the victim was viciously bitten by a dog. Milord, this is a village near Rohini, Milord, northwest Delhi itself, Milord. Milord, nearby there's a Baba Sahib Ambedkar Hospital. She was rushed over there. The first dose of anti-rabies vaccine was administered.
Third June.
30th June.
30th June, and she got the first shot on the same
She
day.
got it, Milord. She got 3 shots, in fact, Milord. Milord, may have my list of dates, Milord, will get to know. At the hospital level also, there is some things which need to be done, Milord. So, Milord, 30th June itself, Milord, she gets the first dose, Milord, at Baba Sahib Ambedkar Hospital. We get to know that the same dog had previously bitten 4 people in the locality as well. This information also came forth. Milords, 3rd of July was her second dose, Milords. That also received at Baba Sahib Ambedkar Hospital. Milords, since she had some injuries on her hand, Milords, so she was referred to one Kalavati Hospital at Connaught Place, Milords, for treatment of surgery on her wounds, Milords. But Milords, when we went there, they said we are not properly equipped to deal with dog bites, Milords, the next page. Then she was referred to Lady Hardinge Hospital, Milords. There also treatment refused. The next page, Milords. Then, Milords, on 4th of July, Milords, they took her to Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, Milords, wherein she was called again on the next day, 5th of July, 3-day medication given for swelling, and she was told that surgery is not required. Now, Milords, on 7th of July, the 3rd dose also received at Dr. Ambedkar Hospital. Then she remains fine, Milords. Then on 21st, Milords, her condition started to deteriorate. She had vomiting, Milords, in the school. In the evening, she was taken to the local doctor, Milords.
Need not speak.
Yes.
We have read that.
Yes, Milords.
What is the point you are
So,
making?
Milords, the point here is this, Milords.
Negligence at hospital
Milords,
level.
on
and-
22nd again, Milords, when she was not well, Milords, she is referred to the first hospital, Milords, RML, who refer her to infectious diseases hospital, Milords, who also don't treat her, Milords. Then they are brought to Safdarjung Hospital at night. Again, not admitted, Milord. Told to wait till the morning, come to the OPD, Milords. Shown at the OPD, nothing effective done, Milords. They say we don't have isolation wards. We ultimately taken to a private hospital, Milords, where unfortunately she passes away, Milords. On 26th, Milords. So, Milords, threefold prayers are there in my writ, Milords. First is that at least some sort of inquiry and the errant officials at the municipal level, Milords.
Cause mentioned in the death certificate?
Milords,
Did they carry out a postmortem also?
Milords, I have the hospital certificate is with me, Milords. I'll
Discharge
just-
certificate?
Milords, the hospital certificate, yes, Milord, it says acute viral encephalomyelitis, post dog bite. There's a question mark rabies, Milord. That is what it says, Milord. So MRI was also done, Milord. The virus was shown in the brain also, Milord. That was also there, Milord. So, Milord, first is that inquiry at the municipal level officials, Milord, errant officials, some action at that level. Second is, Milord, this with respect to the hospitals and negligence, Milord. And third is some compensation part, Milord. I have implemented the state of Delhi, the union also, Milord, and the Department of Health and Family Welfare, Milord. So, Milord, once my writ comes, I will press for that official notice go on that, Milord. But in Milord is reserving today, then my submissions be considered.
Right.
Obliged.
Permitted to add only one thing to this, Your Lordship.
We have heard you once.
Your Lordship, only one.
No,
With
we are
regard
hearing
to
the
this
others
case-
who have not been heard even once. Sorry?
Your Lordship, with regard to this case.
How are you concerned? She is appearing for the mother of the.
Records, Your Lordship, in this matter, I have the medical records, Your Lordship. She was having food and she drank water till the last day on which she died, Your Lordship.
Yes, yes.
So in rabies, you cannot even take
You meant to say
one
that
sip
she
of
died
water.
naturally. That's your argument.
Your Lordship, no, that the death certificate is
You're
not
supposed to be
conclusive.
such-
My
All right.
Not allowing you to interpret.
Very well. Why are you even objecting or raising a counter plea here?
Your Lordship, the death certificate is not conclusive.
Who are you
That's
appearing
what-
for?
Your Lordship, I'm the petitioner in person in this matter, Your
Which
Lordship.
matter?
In this matter.
So writ petition which council argued, you are no one to comment on that, sorry.
Person in this matter, Your Lordship, in one of the SLPs, Your
No,
Lordship.
no, but not in this case.
Not in this case,
Then
Your Lordship. I just
how are you
wanted-
concerned with this case?
I just wanted to throw some.
Thank you very
light
much.
on this,
No,
Your Lordship.
we will not hear you. Sorry.
So file that medical records, Your Lordship. If I may be permitted to.
There are part of my record, I'll show them.
Obliged, Your Lordship.
Your Lordship, I am appearing in IN number 213748 of 25. I will just tender a note. The applicant is a
What is
feeder.
your good name?
The party,
Your name?
Jasmine Damkewala.
Council's name?
That's
Yes.
me. I'm appearing for Mr. Divtej, Earthlings Trust.
No, you tell us your name. Jasmine
Jasmine Damkewala.
Damkewala. Yes, IA number?
IN number 213748 of 25.
Yes.
Your Lordship, I am speaking on feeding. However, in continuation with what my learned friend said, I just want to make one line submission that for confirmation of rabies, the brain tissue analysis has to be done,
You are not
which was
concerned with what he argued, please. You are not supposed to comment on that.
Your
We
Lordship.
have not asked for your comments on what he
Very,
argued.
on my own, I'm saying
Yes.
that the brain tissue
You are
analysis
not
has to
asking
be.
for your expert advice also. What is your case about?
This is my case. That
What is
brain
your
tissue
IA for?
analysis has to be.
Let us read your IA then.
What is your IA for?
Subject matter of your IA?
Your Lordships, on as far as feeding is concerned,
Yes.
this honorable court, we are all agreed upon that we are here for reduction of bites. We are not here to punish empathy. Your Lordship, much has been said about the feeders. What I wanted to point out with due respect, I will just tender a note, Your Lordship. Note has been given.
Yes.
So my note, Your Lordship, the last page of my note, point number 7 in my note, the 5th page talks about scientific studies as to easy to sterilize, easy to vaccinate, and stays in one spot. Point 7, Your Lordship, scientific studies have been conducted by the Center for Disease Control. If we see the first point there, feeding reduces roaming.
Yes.
When you feed a dog, you are confining him to a particular territory. When you confine him to a territory, you know the history of the dog, that he's been vaccinated, that he's been sterilized. You are able to easily manage. Dogs, the first study states that dogs stayed significantly closer to feeding spots. Feeding acted as a special anchor. Home ranges were smaller and predictable. Home range is basically where the dog stays. Thereafter, Your Lordship, another study, the second point I'm pointing out, there is a 742% increase in the home range if you disrupt feeding. If you stop the feeding, the dog will start roaming in new territories. He will interact with other dogs. There will be dog fights. There will be aggression. There will be fight for food. So there is a 742% increase in the dog's roaming if you stop the feeding. There is also an 867% in core activity, increase in core activity area. There is a 5,800% increase in distance from stable environment. This is all scientific research, Your Lordship. Also, Your Lordship, stopping feeding multiplies encounters. We are all agreeable with that a dog who eats, who gets food, eats and sleeps all day, he has no interest in looking for food, fighting with other dogs, or interacting with anybody. Third point, hunger increases aggression. This is another research carried out in 2011, which talks about human-dog conflict study. Food scarcity increased competition and defensive aggression. Biswas et al. Talks on current zoology. Unstable food access increased vigilance and reactive aggression. The fourth point, Your Lordship, mechanisms of bite reduction through feeding. Feeding reduces scavenging at garbage. Now, some points have come up on garbage management to take care of the dog population, to take care of the dogs roaming. So scavenging is reduced if you feed the dogs. Competition is reduced. Stress is reduced. It allows early detection of injury or illness. Your Lordship, many of us are feeders, including myself. We know that dogs who we feed, if they are sick, we will immediately treat them. There will be no spreading of infection, leave alone rabies, because all the feeders sterilize dogs, vaccinate dogs. If there is already a vaccination of the rabies of the dog, there is going to be no rabies and no spread of rabies. It allows early detection. It increases predictability of dog behavior. All the feeders here will confirm that they know which dog is excitable easily and which is mild and who is aggressive. If this knowledge, Your Lordship, knowledge is power. If you know that this is my area, I feed in this area, these dogs are vaccinated, these dogs are sterilized, these dogs are non-aggressive, these dogs don't have to compete for food, they don't have to fight, then we are able to manage better. Most bites arise from stress, surprise, illness, competition, and they are all mitigated by feeding. Your Lordship, causes of bite: hunger, fights, competition, hormonal imbalance. If they're not sterilized, mating season, there are problems, there are bites, there is fights. Female, and that is taken care of by sterilization. If you sterilize the dog, there is no mating season. Female dogs give birth twice a year. If the, I'll just address it. Female dogs give birth twice a year. If there is going to be no birth of puppies, no litter of puppies, then the dog is not going to be scared that the human will hurt the puppy. So there is going to be no aggression. So sterilization. The eighth point, Your Lordship, I'll just point out of mathematics. Now, mathematics has been pointed out, but this is scientifically shown at a detailed level. The private cost of feeding per dog is at least 50 rupees. Your Lordship, I don't think we can feed a dog in 50 rupees, but the minimal is taken here. That is 18,250 per dog per year. Next, 10,000 dogs, 18.25 crore per year. Your Lordship, 1 lakh dogs, 185.2. Why are we having human beings on the, I mean, we are trying to remove the human beings from the pavement, dogs from the pavement. We should use this money to utilize you remove dogs from the pavement, humans from the pavement rather than dogs. My learned friend here takes care of orphans. Now, if she is told that you take 31 million orphans home and feed them, she will not be able to do it. Similarly, the feeders are carrying out the public function. State doesn't have to put in money. State doesn't have to put in resources. The municipal corporations are supposed to sterilize. There are problems, there is corruption, there is laziness. Feeders are taking care of that from their own pocket money, from their own monies. Most of the feeders are sterilizing. Now, as far as feeding is concerned, there are legal rights.
All right.
I'll just point out a couple of things. I will not take too much time.
Already taken too much time.
Your Lordship,
Thank you.
Your Lordship,
Yes, what-
all I'm saying is that there is a legislative intent.
All right, who else is there?
I will just point out one thing which has not been pointed out. Rule 20 of ABC rules points out the mechanism for feeding. Constitutional right, 51A, Rule 20, Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act. I am falling under all of that as a feeder. Your Lordship, even Tanzania, many countries, for example, Tanzania reduced the dog population itself and bites by 75%.
Feeders not to feed.
Your Lordship, no, but there have been some things have fallen from Your Lordship where feeders are being punished for empathy. But here we are not asking for empathy. We are only asking to,
All right, thank you.
Lordship,
Yes.
to reduce the mechanism. Most obliged.
My lord, my name is Advocate Kishore Shinde. My IA number is 330.
Mr. Kishore Shinde.
My IA number is 330334.
330
334
334 of 2025.
up to 2025, my lord.
Yes,
My lord, I am representing a group of animal lovers from Mumbai.
from Mumbai.
Yes. My lord, these animal lovers, one of animal welfare officer, and you work with Thane CPCA, and the Thane CPCA since last 3 years has domain expertise treating the dogs for the rabies and other treatment. It is the only clinic in the Thane district. My lord, my submission, what submission I have to make already covered by animal as council represented by animal lovers. My main point is that, my lord, that the inquiry shall be initiated in 2 ways. One is medical negligence and another is tortious liability. My lord, the dog was appeared to be rabies inflicted, and several complaints were made to resolve this problem. And under the rabies-free city initiative by the government of India, Delhi has carried out rabies-free city initiative. So, had the local council taken account and treated that rabies dog, this case wouldn't come up. So that is the tortious liability placed on the local body. Second is medical negligence, my lord. This suo motu petition is taken based on the articles published in the Times of India. Within that article itself, medical negligence can be appeared. So the medical inquiry shall be initiated into medical negligence. My lord, there is but for a test is applicable here. But for a test is that there is break in chain of causation. The death is not direct result of the rabies. Had the rabies treated in the right time, rightly manner, under the right treatment, it would have cured. So, but for test is considered by this honorable court from time and time. My another point is, my lord, that since the entire petition is taken account based on the article, now if the inquiry is to be initiated, which is necessary, Times of India is a necessary party to be implicated in this matter, my lord. This is my another point. And my last point is, my lord, CNBCR policy is based on WHO's, so which is incorporated in the ABC rules. It may be continued. And my last point submission, my lord.
Last point was the last one.
My lord, when this direction were given, there was no data available. It is not disputed.
That has been
Now
argued.
data is to be direct. Until then, order may be considered to, if possible, that clause 25E, that to not release the dog shall be stayed. Grateful, my lord.
Yes.
Your Lordships, my IA number is 3300.
What is your good name?
Aishwarya Singh.
Aishwarya Singh.
Yes, sir.
Yes. IA number is
3300 of 2026.
3300. 3300. Yes.
Your Lordships, much has been discussed on the science behind CNVR, importance of the release component, and scientific ways of dealing with the situation in hand. I will not attempt to re-argue that. I have set out detailed submissions in relation to ABC implementation, if you wish. Shall I go on, Your Lordships?
Yes.
Your Lordships, my suggestion today is focused on an immediate deployable preventive step. At the very outset, the issue is not merely about stray animals. When this honorable court took cognizance of this matter, it recorded that it does not wish to enter questions of rehabilitation or removal of stray animals. The ask was limited and clear, that the states must ensure safety of its children and elders at any cost. Therefore, it is important to recognize how the state has chosen to structure its public health response and whether that response reflects preventive governance or reactive crisis management. Your Lordships, rabies is a 100% preventable disease. In endemic regions, 40 to 50% of victims are children. These are not statistics, Your Lordships. These are preventable deaths of the most vulnerable citizens whom the state is duty-bound to protect under Article 21. Yet, Your Lordships, India's current framework responds only after exposure. It relies on emergency wound care, immediate vaccination, and availability of rabies immunoglobulin, a vaccine which is rarely available in India. Your Lordships, in practice, India faces persistent structural challenges. A nationwide assessment of anti-rabies center revealed that only 54% had wound washing facilities, 18% reported vaccine stockouts, and barely half had rabies immunoglobulin vaccine, which is a lifeline in severe cases. In reality, many victims reach care too late, and some are never reached by the state at all. Now comes the crucial point, Your Lordships. Global medical consensus recognizes two rabies vaccination strategies. PEP, which is post-exposure prophylaxis. This is after a bite. And then comes PrEP, which is pre-exposure prophylaxis before any such bite occurs. Your Lordships, PrEP creates immunological memory in advance. Upon exposure, protection is immediate, treatment is simpler, and rabies immunoglobulin, scarcest element, is completely eliminated. We don't require that anymore. In effect, it places a shield before the victim, not the rescue after injury. Your Lordships, the WHO expressly recommends PrEP as a clear policy option in precisely India's context. Several countries, including the United States, several countries, including the United States, Japan, and European nations, already incorporate PrEP into its national immunization policies. In Southeast Asia, school-based PrEP programs are established as an emergency public healthcare measure. India alone lacks a corresponding national policy, creating a preventive policy gap. And here, what is interesting, Your Lordships, Indian scientists have already proven its work. Clinical studies in school children show that the vaccine is safe, well tolerated, produces strong immunity, and can be delivered through school programs at low cost. In our country, where citizens die preventable deaths from a fully preventable disease, failure to adopt PrEP is a grave public health omission. Therefore, I humbly submit that there must exist a national policy incorporating PrEP as an immediate healthcare measure. Your Lordships, I'll very quickly touch upon some of my suggestions. I'll just mention the bullet points. In order to expedite ABC, creation of decentralized collaborative ecosystem, empanelment of private vets and clinics to perform surgeries at a prefixed subsidized rates. This is very interesting, Your Lordship. Much has been spoken about One Health awareness, but I'll just quote one survey. This was conducted on healthcare workers, where only 60% of them had prior knowledge of rabies, and only 20% were aware of the importance of wound washing after a dog bite. Moreover, only 63% of the participants expressed its willingness to visit a healthcare facility to seek PrEP and any other alternate treatment. Your Lordships, one final point, and I shall rest my case. The tragic death of the child which triggered this suo motu cognizance is undeniably heartbreaking. There is no dispute that she suffered a dog bite. I do not contest that at all. However, what has been lost amidst incorrect media reporting is that the provisional death certificate records the cause of death as acute viral encephalitis. Your Lordships, I'm not at all into merits, just hear me out. This is a viral infection medically distinct from rabies.
We are not permitting you to comment on her death. Sorry.
Your Lordships, I'm absolutely not on
We
merits.
stopped other councils also.
Not a
from,
single word on that death. We
Abs-
prohibit you from doing that.
Absolutely, Your Lordships, and I'm not at all on the merits. I just want to convey one very important point. Please hear me out, 15 seconds.
Not on that death, please. Not a word, not a next word on that, please.
All right, Your Lordships. I'll just close it by saying that today, as taxpayers and officer of this court, I stand before Your Lordship to highlight a deeper systemic failure, the deficit in emergency medical health care. Your Lordships, every year, 1.6 million people die in our country due to lack of public health care. And this statistics is only in relation to preventable deaths. That child was not merely a victim of an incidental exposure. She was a victim of institutional failure of the state medical infrastructure.
Once again, you are entering into that arena we have prohibited you from. Thank you very much.
Lastly, just
Thank you, Ms. Singh. No.
point,
No.
it's not the merits of the case.
No. Anyone else who wants to argue? No, no. All those who have argued once? No second chance. You can share that data by providing a copy of that. You don't have to enlighten. You may share your brief note, your data, this thing to the court master. We will get it.
I requested 5. I argued for 3. My client will bite me if I don't finish in 30 seconds.
No, no.
Nothing, no question. Sorry. Get an anti-rabies, please. Get an anti-rabies vaccine.
What is
He
it?
is already argued.
We have heard you.
You had given a. SLP is pending, my lord, because I challenge the order of the High Court.
Uh-huh.
Whereby the specific relief was not given to.
Correct, correct.
The way my client is feeding, was feeding the stray dogs.
We have heard you. Sorry. No further hearing. Court Master? No, 2 minutes. Yeah, item 55. Anyone is logged in?
Online.
Somebody through online? कौन है? Current करिए. बैठ जाइए.
Lordship.
Yes.
May I make a small submission, Lordship? My IA in the dispose of writ petition was transferred before this Lordship, and that is why I am before the Lordship making my submission.
Just a minute. You are Miss?
I am Sultana Vishnu Sonavane.
Sultana.
Vishnu Sonavane. My IA number is 16137 of 2023.
16137.
Yes, of 2023.
Yes.
I had filed a substantive writ petition because I was not allowed to feed. My client was not allowed to feed in a residential area in a earmark position because the municipality was not earmarking the positions. The dogs were sterilized, neutered.
What is the case of, what is the writ number?
Writ number is 9513 WP, civil writ number 9513 of 2023.
Before the Bombay High Court?
Before the Bombay High Court. When this
Yes.
Yes, when this writ petition was pending, Lordship, the amended rules of the animal birth control rule were made, and accordingly, the Bombay High Court Honorable Justice Mr. So-and-so made the directions that form the committee as given in the Rule 20 of the Animal Birth Control Rule 2023. Accordingly, the conflicting persons and the other authorities like Animal Husbandry Commissioner, etc., a committee was formed. Committee earmarked 6 places inside the complex. It is a 50 acres complex in which there are about 5,000 residents and about 50 buildings. It's a huge complex, not a small area. So therefore, and dogs were there always from the beginning, right from the day when this complex was constructed. So there is nothing like, because of the efforts of these residents, few of the persons who were taking care, the dog numbers were slowly reducing. The dogs were monitored by AWBI as well by the IDA, in defense of animal, whenever there is some complaint about that. So therefore, monitoring the dog or monitoring anything is not difficult. However, when there was an objection for feeding the dogs, the writ petition came to be filed. And in that writ petition, it was disposed with the direction that go before the committee. Committee had about 4 to 5 meetings. They visited the place. They directed how to mark the places, and the municipality was directed to mark the places. However, some people instigated the residents, and whenever municipality came for marking the places, police was also called, and police raised their hands saying that it is law and order situation. Now we cannot do. And therefore, Lordship, for a long time there was no monitoring of the dog. Dogs used to be chased away from the feeding places, and therefore I filed this IA seeking that these directions given by the Animal Welfare Committee under Rule 20 may be implemented. Direction may be given to the municipal corporation to implement those. Till 2025, Lordship, that implementation had not happened. Therefore, Lordship, we filed another IA and we got a relief from the Honorable Court saying that municipality should immediately mark. Municipality then came to honor the and marked it. However, dogs were now chased away because they are not allowed to be fed there. That is why my only submission is there. One more thing, Lordship, one more thing I have suggested. I have filed an affidavit stating that I am submitting the international one project in a Amazon River project, there were so many rabies cases in a bats. That document also I have uploaded. My written arguments are also I have uploaded. That
Very well.
vampire bats were controlled. That those rabies were controlled. That has to be really looked into the heart. How by studying the entire vampire bats are very small, not like a big like a dog. Also, the Glasgow University went there in the Amazon River basin, studied everything, found out how to control that. That paper I have already submitted online. One more thing I just want to submit, that this is when there was no animal law at all, no prevention. Bihar had come with the law saying that how to control this all rabies disease and how to manage the animal. That is the law also I have submitted. If we look into our that old law, 1955 law, lordship, which has been upheld by the Honorable Supreme Court, when they considered the cow slaughter and the human animal rights, they have upheld this law. In that particularly very, what I am observed in that law is that the word animal has been defined, where they say cow, bull, etc., and also dogs. So this is the first time after studying the entire so many laws and all, I came to know that the Bihar has made a law first for the
Thank
dogs.
you very much. We have
My
understood.
lords, I am Advocate Kirti Ahuja in IA number 225538 of 2025.
1 minute. Kirti Ahuja.
Yes, my lords. In IA number 225538 of 2025.
Yes.
I'm for the animal lovers of Pune, my lords, Pune, Maharashtra. Only 3 quick points I want to state, which have not been stated, my lords, till today. Number one is the definition of aggressiveness is not defined in the judgment, because of which, my lords, without a clear definition, this clause becomes purely subjective. It depends on the whims of the ground level staff. My lords, after the dogs are picked up, sterilized, vaccinated, they can become aggressive at the place of shelter homes also. So, my lords, who will define that whether the dog has been made aggressive because of provocation or due to the reason of the over package in the shelter homes, my lords? So, the definition of aggressiveness may be clarified by this honorable court. Number two, my lords, regarding the feeding, which has already been argued by my learned friends, one more suggestion is there. My lords had told that all the municipal authorities will make designated place for feeding. My lords, they have not made till yet, because of which the feeding has been stopped. The other people stop the feeders. So, my lords, until and unless the municipal authorities make the designated place of feeding, the feeding shall not be stopped, which is being stopped by this judgment of 22nd August, my lords. So, until all the designated places are made, till then feeding may be allowed on other places as well to the feeders.
Very well.
My lords, for the cows. My lords, for the cows and buffaloes, my lords had given the judgment that all the cows and buffaloes and the cattle should be picked up from the highways. That is a good order, my lords. That saves the life of cows and buffaloes also. But, my lords, there should be some data recorded that from where place, how many cows and buffaloes are being picked up and in which Goshala they have been placed. Because, my lords, the data states that the Goshalas are not adequate. Either the Goshalas do not exist. So, my lords, if there is no proper data being recorded, there may be possibility of, my lords, taking the cows for the, my lords, killing them also. That may also become at the whims of the authorities. They may sell the cows and the buffaloes, and that may become a trade option for them, my lords. So, these 3 points, my lords, I want to submit to this honorable court that the suggestions may be taken on record, my lords.
Thank you. 1 minute. There's one more gentleman on through video conferencing.
My lords, am I audible, my lords?
Yes.
My lords, I'm Advocate Manoj Shirsat. My lords, my colleague is there, Mr. Anand Landge. He may hand over a judgment, my lords. The writ petition is pending before Honorable Bombay High Court. Writ petition number 4075 of 2015. Mr. Anand Landge would be
4075.
4075.
4075 of 2015, my lords.
Bombay High Court?
Bombay High Court, my lords. The matter stands transferred to Honorable Supreme Court, but my lords, unfortunately, the matter is not listed today. My lords, may I hand over a judgment of Bombay High Court in this matter?
Mr. Manoj?
Manoj
Manoj Shirsat.
Shirsat, SHIR SAT, my lords. My lords, have the judgment, my lords. My colleague, Mr. Shinde, would hand over the judgments, my lord.
Your colleague is not here.
My lords, I'll just, Mr. Anand Landge, my lords.
Mr. Landge is also not here. Anyway, you tell us what you want to say.
My lords, we filed a petition. This was a dog bite and a child of 5 years old died because of the dog bites, my lords. There is a recording of this. My lords, we filed for the compensation since my lords in the last hearing mentioned that there would be an order for compensation, my lords. In this regard, the judgment, my lords, I'll share the judgment in the chat, my lords. Honorable Justice Oak, as he then was Justice of the Bombay High Court, he authored the judgment. My lords, the judgment records that failure to control the number of dogs in a particular vicinity and corporation is a failure to observe mandate of Article 21, right to life in a safe environment. And my lords, the judgment places this liability on corporation and the state governments to ensure that the dogs, stray dogs in a particular area are controlled. If they are unable to do it, and if there is a death, my lords, the judgment records that is violation of Article 21, and my lord, state is liable to pay compensation. My lord, there is an interim judgment passed in this matter, my lords, which I'll place for my lord's consideration. The judgment itself is my submissions, my lord.
Hand it over to the court master with the details of your case number. All right.
My lords, highly obliged.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Dave.
Lords, I am appearing in an IEA which is 276776. 276776, my lords.
Of 25.
Of 2025 minutes. It's on behalf of a person called Akash Shukla, who is in the nature of a dog psychologist, my lord, behaviorist. He understands the behavior of dogs, my lords, and his services are used, especially when they turn aggressive, etc., to calm them down and all those. So his locus, as far as this is concerned, he works with the dog community at large.
Is Caesar of India? Must have heard of Caesar, who's a dog psychologist.
Oh, yes, my lord, that's Caesar of India. Yes, Caesar also calms down the other. My lords, there is one article in the Constitution, my lords, I'm not sure if it's been placed before your lordships up till now. In the fundamental duties, 51A, my lords.
It has been placed. So many times.
Yes. So the submission is, my lords,
yes,
if the Constitution mandates us to be compassionate towards all living creatures, as it's called, my lord. And your lordship's court, up till now, tracing the history, since the wider definition of Article 21 came to be decided, in man versus animal conflict. This is not the first time it's happening, my lords. It happens with elephants, it happens with other animals, my lords, who have their habitat. We are encroaching upon theirs, they come into ours, my lords. They are. Your lordships are the parents' patria as far as that jurisdiction is concerned. If the state egresses into the jurisdiction or the area of the wildlife, my lords, your lordships are always protect the wildlife. If the wildlife goes into the jurisdiction or the area of the animals, my lords, even then your lordships have always taken a view, my lords, where a road is being built, etc., that some accommodation is to be provided as far as the wildlife are concerned, because they are incapable of understanding as far as our habitat is concerned. So the dog behaviorist, my lord, suggests before your lordships, my lords, that if your lordships are to pass, and one other thing, I wanted to say this on a personal basis, my lords, before I go. Lords, us on this side are not in any way casting any aspersions, etc., for this matter that is being heard by your lordships, my lords. There is a lot of bad publicity that is going on, my lords, and I apologize for this for our side. We are no way, my lords, casting any aspersions. It should not be done. It is not proper, my lords, and I apologize, my lords, for that. Your lordships are seized of a particular matter. Your lordships have to decide that particular matter on the merits of the matter, taking all stakeholders' concerns, my lords, in that. So by coming out with videos and publicity, etc., my lord, that ought not to be done when the matter is pending before your lordship. My client suggests, my lords, the one I am appearing before, is that there should be an increase by the local municipal corporations of employing more persons, my lords, in their departments who are better or well versed with dealing with dogs specifically. My lords. That would enable, instead of lay persons who work in MCDs, my lords, instead of that, some persons who are better equipped should be there in a particular department in municipality should be created across India in all the municipal departments, that those persons are specialized in this area. They are specialized in all sorts of areas, my lords, but this area, some person should be there for the supervision. It should not be left to an absolute lay person who has little or no understanding of this. If there is an aggressive dog, how to deal with that aggressive dog. If there are rabies bites, that person can direct them or for the rabies, for the injections, etc. to be there. Now your lordships are seized of it and seized for many days, my lords. And all conceivable arguments have been made before your lords. Everything that can be conceived on our side, on the anti side, except for the state whom your lordships will hear, my lords, for others as far as the infrastructure and all is concerned. So I really don't have that much to say as far as this, and especially at 3:45, my lords, on a day, my lords, it's not the best time to say anything. If I had also, my lords, for argument's sake. So, my lords, please be compassionate, my lords, in your lordship's order towards those who cannot speak, towards their life, their not liberty as such under the constitution as we understand it, my lords, but to accommodate them in a manner in our society, so we all live together in one common world, my lords, which has been given to us by some higher power, not us, my lords. We have not given it to ourselves. In that way, my lord, that's my prayer, that on a balance, my lords, for all creatures, us and them should be there, my lord. That's my prayer, that in a balanced manner. Peaceful coexistence of all nature. As it is, the nature is facing, we are facing grave dangers now, my lords. There's been no snowfall in the higher reaches of Himalayas. If there is no snowfall there, we may have a drought in the summer. The rivers will run dry, my lord. So we are unpredictable weather situation that we are in. So let us be compassionate, my lords, is my humble prayer before your lordships. Thank you. Oblige, my lords.
Yes. My IA number is 14843 of 2026.
You are Ms. Charu Mathur.
I am representing my client is an advocate at Bombay High Court and she is a child right activist also. Lordship, she has been fighting against the dog menace in her society. She has approached.
What is the IA number?
14843 of 2026.
14843 of 2026. Yes.
Lordship, so my contention is my client is a child right activist and she is an advocate before the Bombay High Court. Lordship, she has been pursuing this case of somehow managing the dog population in her area. She has approached the RWA of her society and of the area. Then she went to municipal corporation. Then thereafter, ultimately in 2024, NHRC, her petitions were heard of. Lordship, her contention is that though there are rules, but there is no governance, and for every child bite and for every dog bite and for every injured child, it is the constitutional duties which has been abdicated by the various authorities, right from municipal corporation, Ratlam. Lordship, in my IA, we have drawn out a table which gives the timeline which the court can adopt if the court feels inclined towards that. Lordship, we give you have to count right from the wards, you have to keep on counting. Plus, there is a lot of awareness which is required so that there can be harmonious existence of man and dog. And it is her contention that only because of inaction by the RWAs, which are essentially the gatekeepers, that man's best friend has turned into a ferocious beast. Lots of other contentions are there in that.
Thank you.
Yes, Lordship. Lordship, I am Kumar Mohammed Asad, advocate.
Slowly. Mr.
Kumar Mohammed Asad, KUNWAR, Mohammed Asad, ASAD. Now, my IA number is 2722228 of 2025 and IA number 333745 of 2025.
Once again, IA number
27228 of
27228 of 25
and IA number 333745.
333745
of 2025.
Yes, tell us.
Almost everything is addressed before this honorable court. My submission is prevention is better than cure. And we cannot educate the animals, but we can educate the humans. My only submission is I have I have given some evidence-based documents that we can frame a education policy since schooling time so that we can learn the behavior of the animals, and since childhood we can teach this thing to the human beings also in order to prevent the dog bites or any accidents that may happen due to the existence of animals. You know, my submissions also cover the things to prevent the to coexist with the animals and to prevent the human animal conflicts. These are my submissions.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Lily.
Highly appreciated.
You also want to address?
Your Honor, I have already appeared on 30.
Then-
My only request is the registry is not accepting our demand draft, the payment which we
Don't
have.
worry about it.
Right.
We will mention that. They will accept everything. Mr. Agarwal, you have already submitted your collated 70.
States are left, my lords. I have been in default, I'll do that, my lords.
7 states are left.
Left, yes, my lords. Those which came on the last day, my lords. So I'll do that, my lords. If this long weekend I can use, and lordships can then take that note and the state responses together, my lords. Whichever way your lordships to tell me, I mean.
All states have given their.
Yes, my lords, everybody.
Suggestion to make for the state. Amit NHI की तरफ से ना. Okay. Yes, Mr.
No, I have a suggestion to make for the state. I should hear him first, and I have a suggestion for the states. Because the Lordship-
You are appearing for
UP.
states. We will hear. Why?
Just, I have a suggestion, or to hear him, then I'll make a suggestion. If it comes to your Lordship. If your Lordship could shape like the 7th, this November order had 9 questions. Your Lordship has heard all the parties, for and against, and middle of the road. Your Lordship could frame certain guidelines for the state to address your Lordship, it'd be easier for us.
Single question to the states compliance.
That's
a simple question. It covers everything.
But a lot needs to be done, because lot has been said across the bar. So the Lordship may factor that in an interim order of some sort, so that we can answer much more effectively. We file the affidavit. So these 7 questions, these 9 questions are, we've tabulated, I've asked the state to respond to.
So should we hear the states tomorrow, or you want us to hear them next week?
Next week, my lords. Next week, my lords. I'll tabulate them.
All right.
Tabulate all the responses together, circulate to all my friends so that they are aware of what is being pointed out from their affidavits. Their affidavits, some are irrelevant.
तभी सुनेंगे फिर NHI को भी.
इस 2 दिन सुन
We have heard the arguments of so and so. ये 55 नंबर से 75 नंबर तक हैं, सबका नाम लिख दिया है. So the arguments on behalf of the individuals, NGOs, institutions in person have concluded. List this matter as part heard for further hearing at 2 p.m. on 28th January 2026. On the said date, the court will hear the arguments of the learned amicus, learned counsels for the NHAI and all other states and all states and union territories.
My lords.
Yes.
I'll make a statewide, I'll make a consolidated thing for all the states and lordships.
Unfair,
No, no, sorry.
Sorry?
Everybody will come and start crowding us. If you have a state wise.
Sorry, I
Statewide.
alphabetically.
Yes, because alphabetically, I'll make a report for the compliance.
Manoj Sirsat appeared and called me.
That judgment.
You submit the judgment, huh? You are Mr. Langde?
Yes, please, Langte.
Anand.
Anand Langde.
Yeah, Anand, yes.
I'm sorry.
Grateful to your lordship.